Hello! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bee, if you didn't know already, and there's a couple things that I would like to apologize for before we get the video started. One being the camera quality. I got a new camera for Christmas and I'm still trying to figure out the video settings for it. The camera quality kind of fixes itself halfway through the video, so just be patient with me. I'm trying to figure it out. I'd also like to apologize for my head ducking in and out of the picture. The fact that I hold my pen like that because you cannot see a single thing I'm doing, I'm so sorry. I will work on that. Also, sometimes the camera is shaky. Apologies aside, today we'll be filling out a sketchbook page with all the prevalent pieces of media in my life throughout 2021. Obviously not all of them, just a couple of my personal favorites. And I'd also like to reflect on the last year with you guys. I started out 2021 by shaving my head. For me, it was like starting again, ridding myself of everything that worried me from 2020, and it worked for a while. Didn't work the whole year, but it worked for a bit. I wanted to focus on myself this year. I wanted to develop my personality and aesthetic, and in order to do that, I tried a lot of new things. Many of those new things being music, so I'm gonna really quickly get the music out of the way because it is a long list of things. Not only did some amazing albums, songs, and EPs come out this year, I also discovered some artists that I enjoy very much now, such as Jasmine Bean, Remy Wolf, Nova Twins, Johnny, Slater, Ash Nico, Chanmina, and Asaki, which is how I assume you say that. Some great albums that came out this year are Harenchi by Chanmina, Montero by Lil Nas X, Planet Her by Doja Cat, Juno by Remy Wolf, Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land by Marina, which is phenomenal. It is an absolute masterpiece. She calls it her pop manifesto, if that gives you an idea of what the album is like. It's quite political, but it's very good. I recommend it. Good Dog, Bad Dream by Hippocampus, which is an EP, not an album. Castle and Madness by Asahi, Demi Devil by Ash Nico, Flux by Poppy, and 1 + 1 = 1 by Hyuna and Dawn, which is also an EP. Also, Rina Sawayama's self-titled album Sawayama and the 1975's Notes on a Conditional Form, which were both released in 2020, but I discovered them this year, so I'm including them in this list. And to round off the music list, here are some singles released this year that I've had on repeat. Antagonist by Nova Twins, which I cannot stress enough. It is so good. Cherry by Fletcher featuring Hayley Kiyoko. Boys by Hippocampus. Enter Sandman covered by Rina Sawayama. Are You Looking For Me Now by Jasmine Bean. Next Level by aespa. And of course, I have to say, Build a Bitch by Bella Poarch, Filipino Pride. Anyway, moving on. Of course, I didn't want my entire personality to be based around the carefully curated playlist that I had made for myself. I needed more ways to express my creativity, because at the beginning of this year, I suffered a terrible artist burnout, and I did not want to draw at all. So I combined the two things that I loved most, creating and fashion, and I learned to dabble in both crocheting and jewelry making. I achieved a lot of firsts this year. First time making an art necklace, first time making a hat, a cardigan, bleach tie-dye, my own pair of earrings, and so on. And I believe I both found and lost myself a little bit in this craft journey, and I'm grateful every single day for those of you who enjoy exploring with me and watching me grow once a week in whatever category that might be. And hopefully I'm inspiring you guys to explore yourselves and your capabilities as well, because I have pushed myself way out of my comfort zone this year, be it artistically, socially, and even stylistically. And bringing myself out to the brink of what would be considered sane has shown me that I'm capable of doing things I had always been afraid to try before, out of fear of failure. I also learned what things I needed to work on, and that's okay, because every time I failed, I get back up, I brush myself off, and I do it again, and again, and again, and again, until I can do it right. And I learned that forcing myself to do these things isn't always a bad thing. That's how you learn to do something new, or discover that you actually like doing something that you never wanted to do before. Because how are you ever supposed to grow a tree if you never plant a seed? For example, I started playing Genshin Impact at the beginning of the year because it satisfied my childhood need for a game that was very similar to Sword Art Online. we're not going to talk about the fact that they already existed before Genshin Impact, because I was a child and I did not know that. But anyway, I couldn't get into it because everything was so difficult to understand. But one day I sat myself down, I watched some videos explaining what all the different currencies were and how to get them, and now it's one of my favorite games to play because I forced myself to learn something about it. The bottom line is, I want you all to try something new this coming year. That's your homework for 2022. Try a new craft. If you liked colored pencils, try crayons or oil pastels. If you like knitting, try embroidery. If you like painting, try dyeing clothes. Play a game with gameplay you usually stay away from because you don't want to learn how to do it. If you only watch American TV, watch a K-drama or like subbed anime or literally anything from a different country, because the chances are that they have a totally different style of cinema than we do, and you might really like it. Try writing, filmmaking, art, if you've never genuinely given it a try. Get out of your comfort zone a little bit. Don't be afraid to create something bad just because you think that defines everything you create after it. Here's another example. At one point, I only ever wanted to draw things like head on. I didn't want to do funky perspectives, but one day this wasn't actually this year, this was in 2020, but one day I decided I wanted to draw somebody reaching for an item that was closer to the viewer's point than they were. And it ended up being one of my favorite pieces I've ever done. To this day, it still is, and it's all because I pushed myself a little bit farther than I was comfortable with. I used to have this band director that would tell us, when in doubt, pull out. And that doesn't mean what you think it means. For a lot of brass instruments, usually you have to pull or push on a tube to tune your instrument, so the best way to do it would be to pull your instrument way out of tune so that you could find the right note again. When you do the same thing continuously, you can risk losing what the original purpose was. If you take a step back, ponder something else for a while, and revisit it with a fresh set of eyes and mind, you may find new inspiration or finally see what was wrong before. That is what your goal should be. Learn something new, find new love in an old hobby, and fail at a couple things. I also have no segue into this next little thing, but please watch Arcane. It came out this past year. It is an inspiration on all fronts. Amazing soundtrack and design, absolutely gorgeous art style and animation, and just phenomenal writing and storyline. It is such a good watch. It's very short, only 9 episodes. You don't need to know a single thing about the game to enjoy it, because God knows I didn't. Please just go watch Arcane. It's a win for animators everywhere. Other than that, that is all I have to say for this video. So just enjoy me drawing for the rest of it, and then I'll tune back in at the end to say goodbye. Enjoy. So you made it to the end of the video. Happy New Year! I hope 2022 treats us better than 21 and 20. My heart aches for anyone who may have lost somebody due to the events of the past couple of years, and I hope that 2022 can bring us a new beginning. A fresh start, if you will. I hope you're all staying hydrated and healthy and creative and safe. And congratulations! You made it to the end of 2021. I'll see you next year.